2 years ago, the gaming YouTube community was taken by storm with a new game out of nowhere releasing in early access. This was Captain of Industry, where you land your crew of survivors on an abandoned island and you have to survive by mining raw materials, growing food, building factories, manufacturing products, researching new tech and trading. This game has a 96% positive rating on Steam, and in my opinion one really amazing thing with this game is the terraforming. When you mine a resource like coal, you're actually really starting to mine underground. The terrain changes. When you dump rock or soil into the sea, you're actually raising the ocean floor until you have new ground. So of course we played it on the channel, including making a lot of great tutorials. And 1 year later, the team released their first major update, Update 1 of version 0.5. They had released a lot of patches in between, but this was the first major update with tons of new functionalities, which we also played on the channel, so don't hesitate to check in the video description below. And now we actually have Update 2. Or, to be more precise, version 0.6, another major drop of new functionalities. So today I want to recap what Update 1 brought, what Update 2 is bringing, my thoughts about it all, and the future, and last but not least, I want to share the unique Let's Play that I have planned for Update 2. So let's dive right in. Let's quickly highlight some of the key new features of Update 1 first. And by the way, you can always go into your menu, into patch notes, you will be able to see all of the patch notes of all of the versions. So as I said before, Update 1 was version 0.5. You can see over here a lot of different features. I'm not going to go into all of them. Tons of graphics improvements, including new models for vehicles, new terrain models, and at the same time, a lot of performance improvements. A new mineable resource, the quartz, several new vehicles, including the new tree planter that was using the new plant samplings, a full tutorial like you can see over here that's showing you step by step what to do, a lot of new tier 2 buildings like the captain office, the diesel generator, the mixer. We used to have the tier 1, now we have the tier 2, the bigger one, so you don't have to build many tier 1 buildings when your city becomes too big. 2 new nuclear reactors with very complex production chains for the endgame challenges and much more. It was definitely a big one. And now we have version 0.6, update 2. It's also a big one, but definitely with different focuses. First of all, we have actually a map editor, so you'll be able to create your own maps or quickly make changes to maps made by others. I'll post very soon a full video with overview of all of the functionalities of the map editor and a tutorial, because to be honest it's both easier and harder than it looks, but it's really a great piece of work from the team. Then we have a new community hub to easily download and also share your blueprints, your maps, your custom maps, and even mods very soon. Then we have cosmetics with custom surfaces and decals. 10 surfaces and so many different signs, lines and arrows of all of the colors. So with this you're going to truly be able to make sort of factory floors and roads. By the way, I said cosmetic, but the vehicles that are driving on those custom surfaces will actually have reduced maintenance, so they are useful. Another cosmetic is that the pipes and also the vehicles are now colored based on their content. It's really cool. Look at this, for example. This pipe over here is transporting crude oil, so it is black automatically. I didn't do anything. This one over here is transporting diesel, so it is yellow. This one is brown because it's waste. We also have new trees and things like this, and they have continued to improve the UI too. Like for example in the saving menu, you can see the total population, the number of researches that you have done, and much more. The difficulty settings are also even better than before. You have more options, you can clearly see what is hard because it's in orange, red versus what is easy because it's green, and you even have a change history. So you can see, did I change anything since starting the game, when did I change it, etc. And talking about difficulty, there's now a lot of details in terms of the difficulty. Of course, we still have the sailor, captain and admiral, which will impact everything, for example, your consumptions, your maintenance, etc. But you also have a lot of customization mechanics. You can decide, for example, if you want a resource boost. You can decide which level of realism you want, including a completely new thing of ore sorting, which is when you're mining, usually you have different resources in one truck. Because, you know, when you're mining a mountain, for example, of coal, usually you have some coal, but you also have some rocks and some dirt, right? And so we're gonna have a new building, which is a sorting facility for these minerals. And that's not the only new functionalities or new features, because we also have new vehicles to transport hydrogen, we have conveyor lifts, we have loans of resources, and much more. And by the way, it's also worth noting that all of the save files from update 1 are fully compatible with update 2, which is not often the case, so kudos to the team for this. Now, am I disappointed by the amount of content in update 2? I'll be lying if I were to say no. Don't get me wrong, as I shared, there is definitely a lot. In particular, the map editor alone is a huge amount of work for the dev team. And there's also a lot of cosmetic, which was lacking in the game for sure. But if you know me, you know that I don't care much for cosmetic, so I'm actually a bit disappointed by the lack of new endgame content. In update 1, I really like those new advanced nuclear reactor production chains. You know, that was a new challenge at the end. We're missing a bit this in update 2 in my opinion. Hopefully this is coming next time, as so far the team hasn't been sharing a lot about the future roadmap, as far as I've been able to see at least, so don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below if I missed it. But now, what does that mean? Will I play update 2? You bet I will. Jumping into the custom map editor, I have actually already created a custom map, a new map that we're gonna play. We're also going to play with a lot of those new custom settings from start to finish, of course. And here is this map. Tell me in the comments below if you can recognize what real location this is based on, because it is definitely based on one. I know it's not perfect, of course, but hopefully you can recognize it. Tell me in the comments below. And obviously stay tuned for the first episode of this new Let's Play.